Wow, gotta love the truck, huh? It's that time again. Football is back. The action and the lights just a week away. Welcome to the New Mexico Football Friday Night Preview Show. On the show tonight, we have previews, of course, from 5A to 6-man. New Mexico's newest football program. We'll introduce you to them. The Spirit Stick, you know all about the Spirit Stick, and, of course, the Power Pole. You already know the Class 5A story of 2011. Cleveland High School created the perfect storm to a spotless 13-0 record. The Storm sealed the deal by defeating the Mayfield Trojans in the Class 5A championship game 48-28. Cleveland trailed at halftime 28-14 before blasting back to victory. So the question is, can the Storm make it a repeat in Class 5A? That might be a tough task with Coach Kirk Potter, now retired, and quarterback Cole Gauchi graduated and wearing Lobos cherry and silver.
We got to call Frost so he knows we're coming.
Heath Ridenauer has taken over as head coach. As offensive coordinator with the Storm the past 2 seasons, he was the mastermind behind that juggernaut they had for an offense. Keon Hami is the new quarterback. Hami will have one of the best running backs in the state returning, Ramel Jordan, to help in the backfield. Ridenauer's specialty was offense, but now he's thinking about the other side of the football.
I think this year we're going to focus a lot on defense. We're going to be a very sound defensive team. We're going to put a lot of emphasis on it. We're going to put our best athletes on that side of the football, and we're going to be really sound in special teams. Our goal is to win every game in the special teams games.
Starts the season against the Cueva Bears, who also figures to be in the mix. More from them later. Up now is a pair of teams that have established themselves as regulars in the Class 5A championship hunt. Our Lawrence Gilligan has the skinny on the Mayfield Trojans and the Cueva Bears. Lawrence?
Yeah, man, in the South, look out for the Mayfield Trojans to try and make their way to their 4th straight state title appearance. However, this season, there may be a little bit of a challenge. The Mayfield Trojans will line up with 6 starters on defense. The offense will have big shoes to fill as both quarterback Axton Franzoy and running back Ricky Milks both graduated. In fact, there are no starters returning on the offense from last season's State 5A runner-up team. Senior wideout receiver Brandon Thielen saw some reps as a sub last year, but hopes to make an impact at the wideout position this year as a starter. In the last 7 years, the Trojans have won 4 state titles and have finished runner-up 2 times.
It is extremely tough as a coach to lose an Axton Franzo and a Ricky Milks and that offensive line that did such a great job for the last 2 years. And you know, you don't want to do it, but it happens, you know, just about every other year. And we're going to miss those guys, but it's time for the new crew to step in.
Playing last year in the state championship, we just fell apart there at the end, but we're working for that state championship this year. You never want to feel that feeling. It's worse than breaking up with your girlfriend. It's worse than anything.
That offensive line is the key, and we're replacing everybody up front. Alex Guzman is the only guy returning that has some good experience, but we do have some fairly decent-sized kids in there that are very athletic, and they're eager to, you know, pave the way for the offense this year. The young men that we've got they're eager to get going. They're eager to show the pride and tradition of Mayfield High is still alive.
All right, Mayfield opens the season this year at El Dorado in El Paso, Texas. Coach Bradley always has his teams ready for the playoffs. But how about right here in the north? The Cueva Bears may be the team to beat in 5A as they return the nucleus on both offense and on the defensive side of the ball, returning 11 starters, bringing experience back to the field. Last season, the Bears fell to the state champs, the Cleveland Storm, in the quarterfinals of the playoffs. For second-year head coach Ed Lucero, the loss in the playoffs a season ago gives the team a lot of motivation for this year as they hope to make it to the state title game for the first time since 2009.
The big advantage we got this year is we know our players. Last year we kind of came in late and we didn't know the personalities and the chemistry, and we were trying to develop all that. So I think that gives us a head start this year, knowing our players, knowing what they can do this year, and hopefully we'll get them in the right spots.
We have a lot of seniors coming back, starters coming back on both offense and defense. We're just playing more as a team this year, and we're looking good.
Being a senior, you got to be a leader and everything, so it's been good there. And Cleveland, we want to get back with them, so I'm excited for that.
We got our quarterback who is coming back. Didn't get a lot of playing time last year, but you know, he's a great kid. He's going to make good choices and throws the ball really well.
I can bring the run game, the pass. I got a lot of weapons at receiver, so they make me look good. So.
All right, always good to be able to have someone to throw the rock to. The La Cueva Bears open up with the reigning Class 5A champs Cleveland next Friday. But how about that other team down south in Las Cruces? I'm talking about the Bulldogs. They're loaded. What do you think, man?
Yes, they are. That brings us to the other contenders in 5A in Las Cruces. They have found the beef. Yep, it's all on the Bulldogs' huge offensive line this season. The running game will be in full effect even without this guy, Xavier Hall, gone to graduation. Also, Las Cruces hasn't forgotten the 48-41 defeat to Rio Rancho that ended their season in the playoffs. Most of that team is back and will be, in the words of Janet Jackson, nasty. You all remember that song, or am I making myself too old? Yeah, Lawrence says too old. Cleveland dominated the headlines last year, but what about that other team in Rio Rancho? The Rams went 9-4 under Coach Dave Howes in 2011, making the postseason along the way. Look for the Rams to pick up where they left off. How about the Clovis Wildcats? Clovis Wildcats have 13 state titles in their past, but they haven't been to the final game since 2011. They showed signs of life last season with one of the winningest coaches in New Mexico high school football, Eric Roanhouse, leading the charge. And with him there, anything is possible. Now, the Wildcats, they have senior leadership on both sides of the ball in the trenches, but they're skilled players, all young. The El Dorado Eagles is that team that always seems to be laying in the weeds, doing just enough to stay within reach to strike. But Coach Charlie Dodson and crew may struggle early with an inexperienced quarterback under center. 6'6" starter Zach Gentry is still recovering from an elbow injury. We need to take 5 for just a bit. More Football Friday is on the way. The Spirit Stick from 2011 is delivered. Who's holding? And Air Ocampo has a new zip code. He's doing something new. Details when we return.